guys, and welcome to SatHERday's with Shalimar J. I am your host, Shalimar Johnson, and today we got a treat, y'all. We have treats every Saturday, but today we've got a treat. I am so excited to hear the rest of Audra's testimony. I literally only heard about this much of it, and oh my. So, without further delay, without me talking anymore, I want her to begin telling us what she feels we need to know and what God leads her to share regarding her testimony. Oh, my Lord. Audra, hey, girl.
Hey girl, how you doing?
I am so wonderful. How are you?
I am blessed. I'm blessed and I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. And it's an honor to honestly to have you here. Listen, I'm ready, as I've said already. You have expressed to me that you are resilient, and I know why, and I can tell. You've talked about that you are an encourager and an empowerer. If that was not you, your story is an encourager and the story is an empowerer. But I know that you and the story do them all. So please let us know the Audrey Hill story wherever you want to begin.
Wonderful, wonderful. Great day, everyone. Again, I am Audra Hill, and again, it is a pleasure and an honor to be here today to share with all of you. Um, I am, I'll start this way. I am blessed to be a mother. I am a minister. I am a speaker. I'm a brand new author of my very first book, From Trauma to Transformation, All Things New. And I am also blessed to be CEO of Jotalia Publishing House because I actually self-published my first book. And so I started this journey, if you will, what has become a journey of discovery, a journey of healing, a journey of transformation. Um, actually, um, I was going to say it started um, 5 years ago when I suffered a major stroke. Um, but I really believe that my journey of discovery and healing began well before that. Again, 5 years ago, I suffered a major stroke. I know I don't look like what I've been through. Thanks be unto God. Um, and though I'm not going to share a whole lot, because I definitely would love for you to support me and to purchase my book and to read it and to be blessed by it, I will say this that 5 years ago, suffered a major stroke. A few hours after praying a prayer to God that I have been praying actually for a number of years. And the prayer went something to the effect of God, I want to do over. I'm sick of my life. I'm disgusted. I'm frustrated. Uh, Life is in no way, shape, or form resembling the life that you showed me. I've had all these dreams. You've showed me all of this glory. I'm not living any of it. And I want to do over. I'm sick of my job. I'm sick of my life overall. Actually, I'm sick of me. And I need a do over. I need you to make everything new again. I need you to give me a new life, a fresh start. And again, I have been praying that for a number of years, and nothing seemed to change. Again, I prayed it for the last time for 4 or 5 hours before having a major stroke. And um, when it was determined, now that I'm at the hospital and it's determined that I have had this stroke. To say that I hated God will be an understatement. Um, I was disgusted, and I was hopeless. I was a woman in despair, and I just wanted to die. And I asked God to end my life. I didn't think that I really had the wherewithal, if you will, to do it myself. So I asked God to do it. Just take me, because I've had it. I've had it with my life. I've had it with you. I don't know if any of you can identify with that, but God, I've had it with you because this is not what you promised me. You're not honoring your word, God. And so a number of months um, recuperating, healing. Um, I had a lot of losses. And again, I don't want to get too deep into the book, but I need you to hear me. I had a lot of losses, a lot of losses, trauma on top of trauma. It was just one thing after the other. And I was at my wits' end. And one day I was making my way back home after seeking help because by this point, again, I've been released from the hospital. I'm able to now start driving again, at least, experiencing some level of normalcy in my life. And I am making my way home after seeking assistance. And I am crying just profusely. I am crying so bad. I'm crying, and to be quite honest, I am having an adult temper tantrum with God. I'm letting it all out while I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I start reminding God, like, this is not what you promised. This is not what you promised. What is going on with my life? And I don't know, like, all of how it all came to be, but what I do remember is this, because I believe that God had had enough of me, enough of my doubt, enough of my fear, enough of me speaking ill, not well, but speaking ill of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he spoke these words. You've been praying for years, asking me to give you a fresh start, to do over, to make all things new. Now that I'm doing it, you don't have the right to tell me how to do it because I'm God. Your job is to trust me. Your job is to speak well of me. Your job is to walk by faith and to watch as it unfolds. And I've said in times past that the stroke was the catalyst, but it was really that moment, that moment. Because one, again, as I said, I heard God as clearly as I am now sharing and speaking to each of you. I heard him. And I heard him, I felt him, and I was brought to um, a place of worship, to be honest, because at that moment, all I could do was begin to cry out and to thank him for his mercy, thank him for his love, that even when I had turned my back on him, I was speaking ill of him. And to be quite honest, I don't know what it was that was leading me to still keep praying, even though I was angry and I was nasty. But I was
Mm-hmm.
still, in my own way, I was still seeking him. Um, but he allowed me to know that in the midst of all of my doubt, in the midst of all of my anger with him, that he was still yet with me. He was still yet with me, and that he had heard me when I prayed the first time. But because of all my pain that I was carrying, not just from the stroke, uh, all the pain that I was carrying, I couldn't, I couldn't hear him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm, I, in that moment, it became real to me just how much he loved me. If it wasn't clear before, for those of you who know scripture, he's given us his son um, because of his love for us. That is the greatest gift of all that he could possibly ever give to us. But when I say to you, I didn't get it until that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't truly get it. Saved, loved God, in church, working, laboring, but I didn't get it until that moment. And it was that moment, from that point forward, that my life began to change for the better. And literally, I am, uh, I am my book. I am. living where God has and is taking me from trauma to transformation, and He has and is making all things new in my life. And so that's just a little bit about me. But again, I would love for you to read the book and to receive what God gave me as a continuation of that message throughout those pages, because I just believe that it wasn't for nothing. Um, God was launching me. Little did I know it. God was launching me, and He was propelling me into my purpose. And that was the other part of what I had been praying all
Mm.
those years. God, what is my purpose? Like, I'm working this dead end job. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I don't see it go. What is it? What have you called and purposed me to do? And when I say to you that over the last 5 years, little by little, God has been revealing it. God has been revealing it. Um, the interesting thing is that He was revealing it as He was helping me to navigate through uh, painful circumstances. He was speaking in the midst of my pain and allowing me to know this is what I've called and purposed you to do. I've called and purposed you, though you may not feel qualified, though you may not feel knowledgeable, whatever the case may be. I have called you to
Mm-hmm.
speak experientially, using my scripture, speaking of my love and my word as a means of healing those who are wrestling with trauma. And so that's just a little bit about me and my journey.
I told y'all. And it's just a little bit. Did
Just
you
a
hear
little
her?
bit.
A little bit. But to go back a little bit, Audra, from the beginning of what you were talking about, when you were saying that you don't look like what you've been through, and one of those, and it can become, a little cliche, but it is the
Mm-hmm.
truth in a lot of situations. And if I
Mm-hmm.
just take the stroke, you don't. We know, and if anyone who's watching doesn't know, usually there is some remnant, some evidence of having had a stroke, paralysis, the drooping of the face. My grandmother, my mother's mother, had several strokes. And so I know what it could look like. My pastor had strokes. I want to say, I don't want to put more on her, so I'll just say that there was one stroke that I know of for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And there is still the reminder in her hand of having had the stroke. And looking at you on the physical, you don't look like what you've been through. And you didn't say a mild stroke, you had a major one. And that's a big deal. The fact God is so amazing that He can erase
Mm-hmm.
just because He's in the business of reminding us and those others of who He is and what
Right.
He can do.
Right.
I am such a great God that I'll allow you to go through a stroke and there will not be a trace of it on you. I'm just that good of a God.
And may I just say that a gamut of tests have been run over the years. A gamut. And not one explanation. And I said that I'm going to go back to my records so that I can pull the nomenclature, the actual technical term for it
Hmm.
when they can't find any explanation for it. But literally,
God,
uh, nothing, nothing,
that's the
but
term.
God,
God.
but God. And
Yep.
I will be honest to say that, and I share this in my book, that I believe wholeheartedly that it was God on every level. Like, it was a spiritual thing. God wanted my attention.
And He got it,
And,
did He
and,
not?
and, and when you read the book, you'll see why. But He wanted my attention, and He finally got it.
And He answered your prayer.
He answered it.
Now, well, before I go there,
Okay.
you were saying that you were at a point, in essence, I'm going to kind of paraphrase it a little bit, that you
Mm-hmm.
were just tired.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that because you did pose the question. I don't know if anyone understands that or has been there before. I
Mhm.
have. I remember I was pregnant with my daughter. My son was laying on the couch across from me, and I was dealing with trauma. I
Mhm.
was in an abusive marriage, and I was tired. And I remember laying on the couch, and I said, God, and I didn't have the strength either to do it myself. So my
Mhm.
words to him were, Lord, I don't want to go to hell, and I ain't got the strength to do it myself, but I'm tired. If you could just take me. But if you take me, you got to take my kids too. We all got to go on the glory, but I don't have the strength.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I felt, and I laugh about it now, but I later learned when I woke up that it was the peace of God. I felt at the moment something so calming from the top of my head all the way down my body. And in my mind, I was like, oh, he's answering my prayer. Oh,
Mhm.
he's taking me. And it felt so peaceful. And I was just falling off to sleep. And then I woke up and I was like, heaven not going to look like my house. I was like, all right, Lord. Okay, you put me to sleep. That's about as close as I was going to get. But I woke up with a different mindset that next day.
That's good.
And all I needed was some peace.
Mhm.
I didn't need death. I needed peace. And I needed his peace that
Yeah.
surpasses I
Absolutely.
couldn't get it. I was like, well, what was that? I thought, whatever. I feel better today. I stopped trying to figure out what was what and how it happened and what I was feeling. I just let God be. But you were saying how you prayed right before the stroke. You had a specific
Mhm.
prayer.
Mhm.
And I have learned over the years, more so now than ever before, and I think it's because I'm listening more now than I
Mhm.
have in the past,
Mhm.
that he's not going to answer my prayer the way I want him to. The fact of the matter is, it'll be answered, and that's all that I need to be concerned with. Now, in between the prayer being asked and the answer coming is my responsibility. There's a space
Mhm.
between that.
Mhm.
And I've got to earn certain things. God isn't just going to throw stuff at you just because you prayed for it. Well, here you go, baby, and take that and go on ahead and get this. There's a process. And oftentimes the process is not easy or comfortable. But if you look at it from the parental perspective, and our children ask us for certain things, well, depending on the level of what they're asking, determines what has to be done to earn it and the length of time that it takes to get it. Your child comes and says they want a car. All right, baby. You just got your license at 16. You might get it at 18. So there's your 3-year dream. But there's a process. I'm not going to just go to the lot and buy you a car today. You got to earn this thing. You need to show me responsibility. You need to let me know that you're ready to receive this gift. And then if things happen, because accidents happen, mistakes
Mhm.
happen, I'll be able to better accept them because I know that you did your best and that you went into this thing with good intent. And so it works that way, even I feel with God, in that, and it's scripture to support it, but he's not just going to throw stuff at us just because we ask him for it.
Well, I
Mhm.
love that you brought that up because part of um, what God has been transforming my mind about is about the fact that um, all that time you were asking me and asking me and asking me for this, that, and the other. Um, you were asking me, but you were expecting me just to hand it over to you. You saw me as Santa Claus.
Mm,
I've already released it. You see it as I am making it up as you go along. I've
mm-hmm.
already done it. I've already released it. And it's now up to you. You now have a part to play. And the problem is that prior to the stroke, I just saw it as God, give me, give me, give me. What's up? Honor your word. I'm waiting. I'm looking. I don't say anything, so you're not an honor of your word. No, he is.
Indeed, he is.
He is. He already placed everything in me that I needed. The thing of it was is that I needed my mind transformed. I needed healing in my mind because
Mm,
I didn't see him as who he really is.
yeah.
And the stroke and everything that transpired thereafter was to bring me to an awareness, an awakening, an awareness of who God really is.
Mm-hmm.
Not who God is through the eyes of my traumatic experiences,
Mm-hmm.
but who God really is. And
That was good right there. Yes,
that
ma'am.
meant that I needed to have a U-Haul, if you will, with my relationship with God,
Mm-hmm.
because I was, again, I was saved. I loved Him, but I saw God through the eyes again of my trauma, and because I was not digesting His Word on a continual basis,
Mm-hmm.
and because I was giving more time and attention to man than I was to Him, I did
Mm-hmm.
not truly know who He was. And it was not until I began, not only did I not, let me say this, not only did I not know who He was, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know who I was. He needed to
Mm-hmm.
heal me, my mind, as to how I saw Him and how I saw myself through His eyes and not the eyes of people.
And I think
Because,
a key component, if I will, or I mean, to being able to be there, the place that you're talking about is releasing. You
mhm,
got to release all of that stuff. You have to, and you know, sometimes, and I can say I'm guilty of it. I may have said in times, and others too. Well, I don't know what do you mean release? I don't have nothing that I need to release. I don't know what it is. No, you do. Anything that hinders you, that blocks you, anything that in the mind that hurts you, that causes you to feel anything negative, any person that is in your life that causes you to feel a disconnect from God, that puts you in a position to second guess who you are and whose you are, is something that you need to release. You need to release offenses. Sometimes we are harboring ill feelings toward
mhm,
people,
right.
and it's because we've not released the offense. We've got to even release the guilt that we may feel about decisions that we've made. All of those things are hindrances and blockages that cause us not to be able to hear Him when we should, because we're so full of stuff and junk that there's no space for Him. And we've got to make room, not just in our eyes for the Word, but that is a key component. But we've got to make room for Him completely. We've got to be able to hear Him, see Him, feel Him. And then, as I said, the part about it that's important is releasing all of those things that won't even allow space for Him. He can't dwell in those spaces of filth and funk, if you will,
But it's really,
negativity.
through Him that we gain that ability.
Yes.
Because, to be quite honest, as I said before, that the stroke, um, that was, if you will, that started it. But there
Mm-hmm.
was pain, there was trauma before,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, I was aware of it. Um, but I believe that a part of the what I was doing was, well, suppressing some of it, and then other aspects of it, I was aware of it, but I was doing, I believe, what we do, particularly as women. We are strong, and life has taught us, one way or another, has taught us to keep pushing past our pain,
Yeah.
keep working past our pain, just
Deal
silence
with
it
it.
and just deal
Mm-hmm.
with it. And
Mm-hmm.
I was doing that. And
Mm-hmm.
I really needed God to help me become free. And again, it wasn't until, I'll say this, that it's interesting to me, and I thought about this a couple weeks ago. It is interesting to me how God uses trauma to heal trauma. It's amazing to me how He does that. And I'm just like, God, only you can do it. Uh, that how, when I think about during my time of recuperation, my mother and I, we engaged in a conversation because she was helping me with my healing process.
I'm going to stop
Uh,
you right there, Audrey.
sure.
Your mother. helping you with the healing process. I think it's a good place to start, and this is why.
Okay.
One, we've got after the show, behind the scenes.
Okay.
So, guys, today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I need you to go to YouTube, search for Girl Embrace It, and I need you to watch after the show behind the scenes. Audra is going to finish talking about what she was just telling us about her and her mother and a little bit more. Please tune in. As I said to you all before, she has something to tell us. And it's getting real good. And we never, ever on Spell Her Days with Shalimar J get an opportunity to finish it in enough time as far as what network TV allows us. Oh, but there is after the show, behind the scenes. And I need y'all to tune in. If you want to purchase the book, and I hope that you do, I've purchased mine. You can go to www.audralhill.com. It is right there, posted for you, and you can get a signed copy there. You can also purchase it on Amazon, but the Amazon purchases will not be signed. You can reach her by email at contact@audralhill.com. You can follow her on Facebook at Audra L. Hill and Instagram at Audra L. Hill. So it is all the same. Audra, I thank you so much. And I know I cut you off, but we're not done. But I thank you so much for sharing your story. You are amazing. And you are empowering people on a regular basis. And I know you're going to continue doing it. And on today, I honor you as a foundational woman because you are. You keep on laying foundation, keep empowering women, and I believe you empower some men too. Keep doing what God is telling you to do. Stay in a place where you can hear him and heed his voice. To God be the glory. Everyone, your scars are beautiful. Why? Because they are your testimony. Until next time, girl, embrace it. Stay here. Just want you to watch a little commercial, so stay to the very end. Bye, guys.
Okay.